don't have a full CBO report on this bill. You heard the old adage, you got to pass the bill to find out what's in it. That's what they're doing today. That's why they're rushing this bill through today. It doesn't even have a review from the Congressional Budget Office. But just a few hours ago, we got this. And it was a confirmation that the IRS agents will be getting about $20 billion in new taxes from people making less than $400,000. That's right, the CBO just confirmed it a few hours ago.
No new taxes on families making less than $400,000.
So President Biden, who made that promise multiple times, if you make under $400,000, don't worry, your taxes don't go up. This bill breaks President Biden's promise. It's confirmed by the CBO, and there was an amendment to stop it from happening, and every Democrat voted against it. They wouldn't allow us to bring that amendment here on the floor because they're ramming it through because they don't want people to know what's inside of this bill. $700+ billion in new taxes. Budget gimmicks that say for the new taxes over 10 years, they're only going to account for 3 years of spending, which means if you account for full 10 years, it increases the deficit. And of course, during inflation times and this crisis we're facing economically, this bill will increase inflation and gas prices. Let's reject the bill.
The gentleman's time's expired.
And yield back the balance of my time.
Mr. Speaker, isn't it so? Joe Biden himself said inflation rate is at 0%. So what the heck are we doing here? Why are we passing this so-called Inflation Reduction Act if it's at 0%? Well, in fact, it's the Inflation Enhancement
Gentlewoman's
Act.
time has expired.
Actually, I just want to say a number. 0. Today, we received news that our economy had 0% inflation in the month of July. 0%.
And it does the exact opposite of what Americans need right now. This is just another con game by the Democrats, calling something one thing and saying another.
Expired.
This is making the IRS, which
Gentlewoman's
armed
time
agents
has expired.
larger than the Pentagon, the State Department,
Gentlewoman is
the
no
FBI.
longer recognized. The gentleman from Missouri reserves the ballot.
Mr. Speaker. How much time do you need?
The gentlewoman is no longer recognized. Your time has expired. The gentleman from Missouri reserves.
I will yield an additional 30 seconds to the gentlelady from Colorado to finish her comments.
Gentleman is recognized for an additional 30 seconds.
This bill hires 87,000 new IRS agents, and they are armed, and the job description tells them that they need to be required to carry a firearm and expect to use deadly force if necessary. Excessive taxation is theft, and the chairman said that we are using the power of the federal government in this bill. You're darn right you're using the power of the federal government.
And I rise in strong opposition to this bill that will absolutely increase the deficit. It will absolutely increase inflation, and this bill will absolutely increase energy costs. In fact, they have a multi-billion-dollar new tax on energy. Haven't heard one person in America saying that they want to pay more money for gasoline, yet they're putting billions in new taxes on energy. So you'll be paying not only more for gasoline, but you'll be paying more for utility bills in your household, which are already skyrocketing because of President Biden and Speaker Pelosi's radical far left spending they've already done the last year and a half. But it doesn't end there. $250 billion in cuts to Medicare drugs. That's right. For seniors, this bill cuts $250 billion out of Medicare drug spending to help people in higher income brackets be eligible for more Obamacare subsidies. So a massive wealth transfer away from seniors to higher income people to get subsidies for Obamacare. And then let's talk about these 87,000 IRS agents. You think of just about any NFL stadium in America filled completely with new IRS agents. That's right, more than doubling the size of the IRS to go after lower income people. And they love saying on the other side, don't worry, it's not going to touch them. There's only one problem. It doesn't stand up to the facts. There was an amendment in the Senate, right here, very simple, one-page amendment to protect people making under $400,000 from new audits by the IRS. This amendment was voted down on a party line vote because they want that army of 87,000 IRS agents going after lower income people. And in fact, the smoking gun came out this morning.
Insanity is doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting a different result. That makes the supporters of this legislation, by definition, insane. reckless spending in this town is what causes inflation. And we cannot continue to increase taxes on the American people and put a target on American energy production while spending a historic $370 billion on Green New Deal initiatives and expect to lower inflation and improve our economy. Remember that so-called bipartisan infrastructure bill? Yeah, we spent $200 billion on Green New Deal initiatives. I guess that was just a down payment on this never-ending theft of American tax dollars. You are sacrificing American families at the altar of climate change.